Good morning, pregame crew. How are ya? It is Tuesday, October 17th, 2023, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to the show. This is a show where I officially get started at 6:30 my time in 8 minutes. I jump on early because I really genuinely like to talk to my friends, say hello to them, do an audio visual check, and get my TA muscles warmed up. Good morning, Tom. Hey, Shake and Bake, Hector, Andre, Greg, Clifton, Sir Fernando. Let's go, Topher. Hey, Mal, Marvin, Fat N, Tess. Hey, Night Truck, B-Hawk, Basque. I hope your wife is well, Night Truck, Samwise, Card Lady, Gino. Perfect, thank you. Level 2 data on buy and sell decisions, Tom. That is, in my opinion, pertinent and needed for small cap trading, and you're just watching the bid and the ask and seeing who's being more aggressive at certain levels. But overall, I think it is overkill for futures and high beta names, in my humble opinion. I know tape reading is a big thing for a lot of traders and they make it their thing. It's not my thing unless I'm doing small caps. Hey, Donald, Jam, Miguel, Mary, Grisha, Awesome, Ray. Hey, Nugget, I'm good. Hey, Success, R182, Mike, Zachary, Carlos, Kat, Anmo, hello. Hello. Why did I just stop and answer Tom's question? Is he special? Why, yes, he is. He is a TCG member and he's my friend. All right, let's go back up to the top. You get preferential treatment in this chat room if you're a TCG member, and I am very transparent about that. Shoot, I even have favorite kids. I have a favorite and my kids know it. I'm just not that mom where I'm fair to everybody. Buenos dias, Miguel. LOL. Success, you're getting me. You and I have very, very similar chart taste, let's call it that. Yes, all right, Night Truck, that's great news. Jam, I don't know how big the girls get in your world, but I am far from a girl, but I know what you mean, and thank you. I'm a very, very tall girl. You're welcome, Tom, all the days. Hey, OMC, awesome, woot woot. Sheffield, AMD for William. Did I miss any chart requests? I don't think I did. So we'll start with AMD. I specialize in metaphors. Trey, don't make fun. I've never played chess. My ex-husband and my son loved to play, and I never learned, and he didn't understand why. And I told him, it's like what I do at work, strategy. So it's like me coming home to work more. So I never stopped to learn chess. It's the same thing. Same reason I don't watch Shark Tank or Apprentice, because it's like me working and strategizing, and it's like, ugh. I just sometimes need a break, but you better believe I love Candy Crush, and I think that's very similar. Spatial relationship, well, not really, but lots of strategy. Okay, AMD, get focused here. Daily high or low is the more likely scenario. We are sitting on the daily 50 MA, which is important to me. We're looking for the weekly low or high setup here. That beach ball worked perfectly yesterday on AMD. I was trying to think, what was the other beach ball setup I had yesterday? And I for the life of me, could not remember. Let's see, did it set up? No, we didn't break the low of the prior day, so it wasn't ideal, but the thesis worked out. I'm a much more comfortable bull here than I am a bear. This weekly lower high is weighing on us, yes. 4 hour, we're looking for a higher low. So a lot of these hourly charts have lost their uptrends, but we're looking for 4 hour higher lows. And in some cases, we have bull flags. So we get hourly lower lows without follow through. We have to zoom out for potential bull flags on higher time frames, which this is not one of those. But on ES it is. So how do I summarize what I like on AMD? And you'll get the gist when I go through some charts as far as what I'm looking at today. This is what I'm looking at on most charts. Got the 4-hour low or high. I'm looking for a 4-hour high or low. And the size of these pullbacks have set up perfectly for inside days. This is a day I'm 90% sure I will be selling iron condors. Everything has this inside vibe. And what's an inside vibe? Well, my pre-market scan. We hardly have any names on the pre-market scan. Very, very low volume. And it could be a hurry up and wait for Biden to visit Israel tomorrow and see if there's any fireworks. And then also, Lord forgive me for that, I'm not meaning anything with war. I just mean headlines that could be sensitive. And then Thursday we have Powell speaking. So it could be a hurry up and wait day. So I will be selling iron condors. And to me, AMD is setting up for that ideal scenario of an inside bar. Yes, I am talking, Mike. Fat N, what is going on? Wait, I gotta do PayPal and then I'm gonna come back to your SE. We gotta talk. It's time for heart to heart on SE. I need to know what's going on. Let's see. I got mama intuition. When my kids keep asking me about the same thing, I know they got something going on with it. And so I have to pry more. So that's what I'm going to do with you, my friend. 4-hour high or low is a more likely scenario on PayPal. Monthly has shown no signs of slowing. Weekly, daily, 4-hour. This may be the time for the 4-hour high or low compared to the low of yesterday, bottom fish. This may be the time for a possible swing setup. Odds are not in your favor for bulls because bears have had momentum for months since Jesus was a baby. Okay. Okay, well, let's talk, Fat N. What's going on SE? This chart looks like PayPal. Daily chart's definitely making more progress than PayPal, though. We're approaching overbought on the daily, looking for a monthly lower high. If you're in long, I would be careful long once this hits overbought or if it hits overbought. Yes, you're in gap fill territory, so there's no meaningful resistance overhead. We have some prior levels over here like 54.34 that could come into play. If you're in long, okay, we're pulling back pretty hard here. We just got data. We just got retail sales. And data could just totally throw off my inside bar vibes and change everything. Okay, we got a big old EQ here. So we got that lower high, and now I'd be looking for a higher low today. Okay, market's pulling back pretty hard. Good morning, Saucy. Okay, I will be doing NVDA and PLTR. I'm not skipping your names. I will be doing them. But I need to get started with the show. And I will be doing gold and Bitcoin. That's good. And I'll try to get the United Healthcare. All right. Let's do this thing. Good morning. Welcome to the show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of the Chart Guys community. And we teach technical analysis. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter or X, whatever, I got to stop saying Twitter, at Chart Gal Lori, that would be lovely. I promise not to spam you. Today, we just had retail sales come out, and they were much higher than expected. Wow. That is bearish news. The Fed wants to see that their interest rate decisions are slowing the economy. And when we come in at 3 times what was anticipated with elevated retail sales, that's going to be a problem. It could have been Amazon Prime Days too. No, that was this month. So that was in October. This is September. So that is a very high reading. And this is a good news is bad news for the economy. All right, what else do I do here? I go over this table that kind of shows it's a push. Reason number 4012 that I'm looking for an inside bar today is because of this little handy dandy little tool. I call it my market environment dossier, and it's just me collecting data on my key data points saying what is weighing heavy on the market and what is lifting the market, and how should I be forming my thesis around this data. And it was just a way for me to, make it a little bit more objective so I could convey to you what I'm seeing more. And what I'm seeing more is it's a push. I'm seeing bullish and bearish tug of war out there. Man, my nose is itching. I've got my diffuser on. I may have to turn that off. All right. So I have my notes off screen. Evernote did not work overnight. They're having maintenance, so I had to do it in Google Docs. So I have those notes, and I will share those notes with TCG members when I am done. Hang Seng was up 0.75% overnight. What's going on with the DAX? DAX is down 0.47%. Mary, it's you. NVDA was the beach ball trade I talked about yesterday, and I actually did a beach ball video for TCG members, and I posted it in Trade Review and in videos if you're interested in that. And I wanted to just go over it here real quickly. So I'll stop with the indices real quick and go over the beach ball setup. This is just a setup I call a beach ball, because you know what happens when you try to put a beach ball underwater and you're pushing and it just pops up. So that is what I call the setup, where you're looking for a higher low. The bears flush price under key levels, then bulls buy the dip for the more likely scenario. Anatomy of a beach ball setup is the most likely scenario looking for a daily or weekly high or low. Price gaps. This is important. This is an important part of the anatomy. It needs to gap below the prior day low. Hourly was oversold yesterday on NVDA. That was my beach ball setup, but that's what we want if we're looking for a weekly high or low. We want 4-hour oversold. We want the key moving averages, if they're possibly in play, use those as key levels to, eyeball for synthetic support. Look for those key psych level flushes. And it's a scalp trade mindset. You may turn it into a swing, possibly, but it's definitely a scalp mindset. All right. Yesterday, so I'm just going to erase that now. Yesterday, we had the most likely scenario was a daily high or low. Price gap down below prior day's low. Hourly was oversold. Daily 50 MA was right there as synthetic support, and price flushed that key 450 psych level. When that stupid Bitcoin fake news came out, it distracted me and I missed this setup. And this was my favorite setup yesterday, and I did not shy away from it. And if we look at what happened here, right here on NVIDIA. Okay, so I just reversed, and I went back to yesterday's open, and I'm clicking play. Y'all look at what happened. This yesterday low is wrong because it was not the 15th, it's the 16th. You see how we dipped below that 450 psych and we popped? We popped 2%, y'all. 2%. That is the beauty of the beach ball trade. We were hourly oversold, and this is that setup. So I won't belabor the point, but I hope a lot of you got in on that. Do you want to exit? Yes. All right. ES. Let's talk about it. Let's give them something to talk about. Okay, from the low of October 4th to the high of October 12th, we have a potential bull flag in play. Now, this is not the ideal daily bull flag. You don't want this on your daily bull flags. I am very aware of that. You don't want elevated bear volume on your consolidation plays. You do want lower wicks of bulls buying the dip, so that's good. And you'd want price all these bars to be over the EMAs, and they're not. However, let's just say we take bull flag off of the conversation because a couple things negated it. This is still healthy retracement. We did not close below the 40% retracement, so a higher high is possible. A daily higher high on ES is possible. A weekly lower high is the more likely scenario. Where that gets set, we don't know. But a daily higher high is possible. And we changed the 4-hour trend. We got a higher high. Well, now what's happening? We got the higher high. Well, now what you doing, bulls? Look here on the hourly chart. We've got a downtrend. And we're here at my key Great Wall of Louisiana, the 50 MA. So here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for bears to fumble this at open and bulls take over, because then it would give me this scenario. And I'm sticking to 4 hour on almost every chart for clarity. I'm looking for that 4 hour higher low. And then if we could EQ out today, and then tomorrow, let's go tackle that daily higher high. So I was working with one of my friends yesterday on sequencing. And what I mean is sequencing this right side of the chart. We have to look at the black area. I call it the Taylor Swift blank space. We have to look at this black area and then start mapping out scenarios and lay out the sequencing. If this happens, then that happens. If this happens, then that happens. And you're like, I don't know what's going to happen. This is a history chart. A chart. The data on the chart is a history chart. It does not tell you exactly what's going to happen on the right side. It gives you probabilities, and we need to lay out what's happening on the right side of the chart. And I had a eureka moment with Dan a few years back where he was trading a falling wedge, and I will just draw it out for you here. Where is my path? Okay, there was a falling wedge on the 15-minute. And he was here. And price was here when he posted. I'm waiting for the next lower low to look for the hourly higher low. And my head exploded. And I'm like, he is sequencing out ahead of time and saying, mapping out that right side of the chart. We don't talk about it enough. I give y'all a lot of history lessons here about what has happened. And then I lay out the most likely scenarios of what could happen. And you have to be thinking in those terms on the right side of the chart. If you're not profitable. I know it already. You're not profitable. If you're not doing this, you're not profitable. Or if you are, it is a stroke of luck. Let me tell you. So I tell y'all all the time, we have to give ourselves time to think. And I'm sorry if I'm soapboxing, but y'all know when I get in my groove, I just get on it and we go with it. What was I going to say? So you've got to make time to think. I tell y'all that all the time. You've got to allow time in your preparation is not just marking up levels. Start thinking through steps of how the chart could play out on the right side. So if you're not visualizing the right side of the chart, you're doing it wrong. So how in the world could you trade 30 names today, if you're one of those, if you haven't allowed time to think for 30 charts and map out the right side scenario? If you've been doing this for a lot of years, you could probably do it. But for the most part, the majority of traders are not going to be able to look in chat and say, oh, Dan just said US 10-year is strong. I'm going to go long on US 10-year. Well, have you mapped it out? Have you looked at the right side of the chart? Have you analyzed RSI, volume? Where are your EMAs? Where are your moving averages? Have you? You haven't had time to do that. You shouldn't be trading it. And that's why it's really important to get to know the character of a chart, the personality of a chart, and stay focused on just a few names until you can improve your craft. And then you can open it up to maybe more names. And if you're improving your craft and making more money and profitable, then why would you even make a change, you know? All right. That's enough soapboxing. So today, that's what I'm laying out for you. So let's go over PLTR because it's one of the Queen of the Mountain trades again today. And let's go over what happened yesterday and why I was looking the way I was looking as the Queen of the Mountain yesterday. A daily higher low is the more likely scenario. Look how those bulls bought that dip at the 0.382 retrace and the 8 EMA. Odds favor a daily higher low. Okay, well at open yesterday, we were oversold on the hourly chart, and we gapped below the prior day's low. So that gave us a beach ball setup. Looking for the daily higher low, hourly oversold, flush that level from the prior day. I would say the only thing it didn't do is hold a key level, but we could have mapped this prior resistance as possible support. And I posted in chat yesterday morning right here at 7:51 a.m. yesterday in general chat, PLTR daily higher low on watch, hourly oversold, RSI bull divergence, 7:51. All right, let's go back and look. That was right here, and we got that 2-minute higher low bottom fish setup, and then you're basically playing off the low of day. That's the setup, and boom. It was ideal. It was just ideal, perfect beach ball setup. And then I got a message from a friend in chat saying, hey, well, now I'm confused. We got the daily higher low possibly set with that flush and that big dip buy, but now we're looking for a 4-hour lower high. Yep, that's right, we are. So if you have a long, you have to decide, am I going to sit through consolidation on the pullback and hold for that daily higher low attempt and hopefully securing it? Or am I going to sell that pop and then buy the 4-hour higher low? So today I'm looking for a 4-hour higher low on PLTR. Do y'all see how we continue to sequence out that daily higher low, 4-hour higher low, and now a bull that missed this entry is looking for the entry today. Look at that bull divergence again. The RSI making higher low while price is making a lower low. We're losing that 1715 support from intraday. And so now we're in an area where it's going to be tougher. So we may have to wait for $17 psychological. Let price find a bottom and then attempt to buy the 2-minute higher low, trying to get that 4-hour higher low. And this scenario is the clearest one I can see to show you what I'm looking for. Now let's go back to ES. That's what I'm looking for here. Where's our 4-hour higher low? Where is it? Odds favor it. And we want these hourly lower lows to not get followed through. And let's make this 50 MA meaningful. I'm not reading chat, so if I'm off base today, then let me know if y'all aren't picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. It was on the hourly chart right here. I'll show you. Let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. It is here. You see how price made a lower low right there? And price made, RSI made a higher low. Do you see it? Let me blow it up. Now you can see it. You see the higher low on RSI? Making a higher low than down here. And price was making a lower low. That was the RSI bull divergence. All right, back to ES. Now let's see if bulls are, okay, they're losing the hourly 50 MA. So that increases our chances of a 4-hour EQ now. So now this is what we're looking for. And that's what I told you I was looking for today, is an EQ. You see how we're inside yesterday's range? Look at NASDAQ. We're on our second daily inside bar underway. It's not confirmed. This is an inside bar confirmed. So tighter we go, perhaps? Yes, that's what it looks like. Unless we get some type of headline that spooks the bulls and then we go straight to a lower low. That would surprise me, actually, because I am looking for a 4-hour higher low. But again, we have headline risk at all times with these uncertain times we're in. So NASDAQ 4-hour EQ, second daily inside bar underway, and I'm looking for it to possibly hold. Time will tell. Johnson & Johnson had earnings this morning, and Bank of America. Let's see, that's two big players in our market. Okay, Johnson & Johnson is barely holding green, and Bank of America is holding green. That's good. But I want to just remind y'all of what happened on JPM. They beat the heck out of earnings. They beat, and they closed red. So we'll see what Bank of America does if they're able to hold these gains. This is a Buffett darling. We'll see. But we'll see if this helps XLF. So they were selling good earnings on Friday. Let's see what they do today if they can hold those gains. Okay, back to RTY. Okay. RTY is just not in the same situation everybody else is. We're tightening up here. And what bulls want to see is some type of double bottom. I told y'all yesterday they would love to see an Adam and Eve reversal pattern. I'm not saying that's what's happening. A daily lower high is the more likely scenario. These bulls just continue to stay on the struggle bus. Let's see if they hold this hourly 50 MA and put in that 4-hour higher low. So let's see if they can get a higher high, or do they EQ out as well. YM, this thing is not like the other ones. We got a daily trend change. We got daily higher high, higher low, confirmation, 4-hour. This one is not like the other ones. We got a higher high, confirmation. Dow is much stronger, and I believe Johnson & Johnson is in the Dow, so it could impact it if it goes red. I was listening to the CFO of Johnson & Johnson this morning on CNBC, and he said the COVID vaccine was not a major part of their P&L. So Pfizer's been getting hit because Pfizer said COVID vaccines were a large part of their revenue, and now they're gone, or they're down significantly. And Johnson & Johnson's like, that is just like bubkus essentially to our P&L. And their new drugs, of course, I'm very interested in, because there are multiple myeloma drugs for stem cell transplant, which my mom is planning to get this year, maybe next month. So we'll see. But I thought Johnson & Johnson, looking at those financials and the forward guidance, I thought that they should have been up much higher. So we'll see. But I don't trade fundamentals, so just let it go. 4-hour higher low, the more likely scenario, and we could even get a higher high. YM doesn't necessarily have to EQ out. VIX, I don't know if there's news in NVDA. I did not see any before I went live. Let's look for it. I don't see anything. Don't see anything. We do have that weekly head and shoulders, and we'll get to NVDA in just a second. So on VIX, we're looking for a 4-hour lower high. Do y'all see how that also solidifies my equilibrium stance today of looking for the 4-hour higher low on the indices and looking for the 4-hour lower high on the VIX? Higher low on indices, lower high on VIX. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin had that fake news yesterday, which explains whoever released that. They were buying it up over here on Sunday. It had a great overnight Sunday and Monday. And then yesterday, they released the fake news that the ETF was approved. Bloomberg did, Trade the News did, every major outlet did. Whoever planted that fake news knew exactly who to send it to. But they're holding the hourly EMAs. I am shocked. Bitcoin is holding up great considering that news was fake. So I still think that there is a flight to safety, and they're now viewing Bitcoin as a potential hedge to inflation, just like that gold has been strong. So I would watch that correlation. I'm not saying Bitcoin's a war name. I said gold is a war name. Oil is a war name, but this may be the new war name. We'll see. And Ethereum is weaker than Bitcoin, much weaker. All right, looking at the dollar. Dollar popped, but I'm looking for a 4-hour lower high. Do y'all see it? VIX, we're looking for a 4-hour lower high. Dollar, we're looking for a 4-hour lower high. And that makes us look for higher lows on the indices. Who's the fly in the ointment today? US 10-year. That's the fly in the ointment. A daily lower high is possible compared to 4.887. And if you don't have Treasury notes as part of your assets, if you're sitting on a lot of cash and you're not putting some of it in Treasury notes, I don't know what you're doing, because they're amazing. Everything has risk. The U.S. government defaulting is a very minuscule risk, but it is a risk. So I should say that, disclaimer. Daily lower highs, the more likely scenario on U.S. 10-year, and that would help indices if that could get set sooner than later. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Homebody. Appreciate it. Okay. Okay, let's go to commodities. Gold. Oh my Lord. I haven't even gotten to my names. I got to go faster. Daily second inside bar. Potential daily bull flag. Y'all, a daily lower high is the more likely scenario on gold. Gold bulls are showing no signs of slowing. This is a war name, and so it can move it past the more likely scenario. More likely scenario, lower high compared to 1968-90. Gold bulls are having none of that at the moment. Oil. Ugh, I missed that trade. I was watching this EQ pattern. It was just so clear this morning. I'm like, man, I want to get that breakdown. Rats. It happens. All right, 4-hour lower high is the more likely scenario on oil. That's why I was looking for that short. I don't think it's too late for the short. If you wanted to, I forgot to turn my magnet back on. If you wanted to look for a 15-minute lower high on the next bounce, I'll allow it. It's a joke. I love that gif of that guy. I'll allow it, but I would approve. I think it makes sense. Nat gas not going over. Apple. A 4-hour higher low makes sense on Apple, and then for us to tighten on up. Daily 50 MA is right here at 178.15. Weekly lower high is the more likely scenario. So let's see if we can tighten up on the 4-hour and hold yesterday's low, 176.85. It doesn't look very promising right here, right now. I think it's possible. Okay, I was marking up these intraday resistance supports, and they are going bye-bye. So yesterday's low, 130.43. We'll see if bulls can defend it. NVIDIA is dropping. Drop it low. What's that drop it low song? Okay, so this has bearish news. This is different than a beach ball setup because we were looking for the daily higher low with hourly oversold. 4-hour is not oversold. An hourly should have marked the bottom yesterday and it didn't. So this is some bearish news for NVIDIA. I would go to reverse back burner mode on NVIDIA and short pops with this news. Tesla. Bulls want to see a hold of yesterday's low. Okay, Tesla's holding up better than what we just saw. Amazon, Apple, and NVIDIA. Tesla's holding up better, and they have earnings tomorrow. So this may be the buy today. So for our 4-hour higher low compared to low of yesterday, with earnings tomorrow, Tesla may be the long to go after. AMC. Okay, so we're looking for a daily higher low on AMC. That is the more likely scenario. And I've marked this chart up pretty good. What happened yesterday? We rejected at Friday's close. Friday's close was 9.50 and we rejected at 9.54 yesterday and down she went. And then we recovered very well. AMC and Taylor are splitting the 57% proceeds from her huge hit concert, movie, whatever, breaking records. They are splitting proceeds. Taylor Swift is getting the majority of them. AMC is getting some of them. I like a buy of AMC against yesterday's low as long as yesterday's low holds. Meta. Do y'all see how this is not like the other charts as well? This is holding up much better than NVIDIA, Amazon, and Apple. So I like a buy of, let's see, right there's the low of yesterday. I like a buy for the 4-hour higher low on Meta. We're looking for the 4-hour higher low. So Meta would be a long choice for me. PLTR was a beach ball setup yesterday. And today we're looking for the 4-hour higher low. We're looking for the 4-hour higher low for that daily higher low potential swing setup. All right. It's coming down kind of hard, like Apple, Amazon are. It's not as strong as Tesla and Meta, so be careful. Qualcomm may be impacted by NVIDIA news, so I was looking for daily high or low buy on this because look at this weekly, how tight it is. Qualcomm will have a good trade in it. It absolutely will. We just got to wait for it. And the trade may be to the downside. I'm not saying it absolutely has to be to the upside, but we definitely have a tightening daily squeeze going on. XLF, I like Dan's idea of looking for a short against yesterday's high, 33.72. Looking for this weekly lower high on XLF. I like that idea of 33.72 top fish. We'll see if Bank of America can lift all boats and save XLF bulls, or do they just keep pulling down? So I definitely like a short on XLF. Wow, that was a lot. Drop it low. Yes, that's it. That's it. Lost audio? Oh, all right. I don't know why that y'all keep saying that. That happened yesterday too, but majority of people saying it's not. It's not. All right, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up for the day. I love y'all. I appreciate you being here. Please hit the like button. There are 315 of you and only 123 likes. Only a third of you like what I'm saying. That's kind of sad. You're going to give me a follow on X at ChargalLori. That would be lovely. And TCG members, I'll have these notes over to you in just a second. Use stop losses.